Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. We got another 1949 game for you, and this is game 2 of this doubleheader between the Pirates and the Reds. Here's hoping this game doesn't freeze again. We'll see what happens with VirtualBox. And we've got Ewell Blackwell up there for the Reds, and his first pitch is in there for a strike. I think this is Blackwell's first start. It is his first start of the season for us. He had 4 starts in the real season, the regular year, and we'll see what happens. There's a little ground ball over to... who was that to? That is a 1-2 hopper, rather, back to Blackwell. Can't quite get hold of that one, and it rolled down the hill. He couldn't get to it in time, and Castiglione's on at first base with the air. Nobody out, runner on first base, and that brings up Ralph Kiner, and this is not the situation you want to be in if you're the Reds. There's a strike in the inside corner, 0-1 the count now on Kiner, and there's a ball off the inside edge of the plate, 1-1 the count. And there's a slider in there for a strike, 1-2 now. And Kiner swings and misses, and he's out on strikes. First out here in the top of the first inning. That brings up Eddie Bachman. Bachman up there looks at a ball, 1-0 the count. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. That's high and tight, 2-1 now the count. And there's one right down the middle, and it'll be 2-2. And there's a changeup that bottoms out. Bachman swings it and misses, and that's the second strikeout here for Blackwell. Up comes Ed Fitzgerald, who takes a strike. Fitzgerald up there is the backup catcher, and there's a pop fly over there to Stallcup. He makes the catch for the out, and we go to the bottom of the first inning. Here's Tiny Bonham. It's been a while since we've seen him, and his first opponent, Jimmy Bloodworth, has a 0-2 count. There's a foul wide of third, 0-2 still, and there's one high, 1-2. That one's fouled back, still 1-2 now, and that one swung on and missed for a strikeout. First strikeout for Bonham. Here is Danny Litweiler, who takes a ball, 1-0 the count on him, and there's a strike in there low, 1-1 now. 2-1 is now the count on Danny. Now it's 3-1 as he takes another one, and there's a bullet into the hole left on the left side for a base hit. Litweiler goes to first base on the single, and that brings up Ted Kluszewski. Kluszewski hits a foul ball over to the left side, and that one just manages to get foul, and then takes a fastball high, 1-1 the count on him, and that's fouled back, 1-2. There's one up and around the shoulders, 2-2, and throw over to first base. And there's a ground ball over to the second baseman. That is Bascal, who flips to Castiglione for 1 over to first base to hop for the double play. We go to the top of the second inning. I always kind of cringe a little bit when I see those double plays because I know our count is too high so far. 0-2 the count on Monty Bascal. And he pops one up to Wirostek in left field for the first out. Here's Wally Jinich. And Wally will take a strike, 0-1 the count. And there is a line drive over to Bloodworth, and that's caught up there in the air for the second out. 0-2, second out here, and here's Westlake up there with a 1-0 count on him. And there's one that slapped right up the middle. Blackwell makes the play on it. Let me make sure, and that was Blackwell, and he spears that one in the air for the out. Go to the bottom of the second inning. Here's Grady Hatton. Fouls one back, 0-1, and that's yanked just wide at first, 0-2, as he tried to pull that one. Swing and a miss, another strikeout. Man, we're seeing the strikeouts today. Tiny Bonham with his second strikeout. There's a ground ball over to Castiglione for the second out at shortstop. Here comes Johnny Wirostek, and he takes a ball here. 1-1 the count on Wirostek. And foul tips one off, 1-2 now. There's a high pop-up, and it's going to be Bachman, the third baseman, making the play, and we go to the top of the third. Here come the Pirates again. No hits for the Pirates so far, and just as I say that, they hit one deep to left field as Johnny Hopp, chasing the first pitch, hits it over to Wirostek and left, and he makes the play, 1 away. Tiny Bonham also first ball swinging, fouls one off, and there's a ball to him, 1-1 the count, and there's a little ground ball over to Bloodworth on the right side, second to first for the out, 2 away. Pete Castiglione up there now takes a strike and then a ball, 1-1 the count. There's a sinker, has him bailing out, 2-1 now. Breaking ball goes under the bat, 2-2, and they struck him out. Blackwell strikes him out, and that's another strikeout there for Blackwell. We'll go to the bottom of the third inning, and here comes Johnny Promesa, who's a new arrival here for the Reds, another backup catcher. And 1-2 is the count to Promesa, and he strikes out there. That's the third strikeout by Tiny Bonham. Here comes Lloyd Merriman, who takes a ball. And there's a ground ball over to Bascal that's just wide of Hop, the first baseman. Makes the play over to Hop, who recovers in time to get back to the bag for the second out. And here comes Blackwell, and he takes a strike and swings and misses at the second one, 0-2 now the count. And that one's fouled back, still 0-2. There's one outside, 1-2 now the count. And that's fouled straight back again, still 1-2. And there is a single that just goes right past. It looks like that goes past Hop's glove and just past Bascal as well. A single to the right side for Blackwell, who looks at his teammates and says, "This is easy. How come you guys are having a hard time?" Jimmy Bloodworth up there now, and there's a throw to first base, nothing doing. There's a big fat strike in there to Bloodworth, and he fouls one over to the left side. 0-2 the count on him. And it's a ground ball over to second base. Pascal has it, throws over to first base for the out. We go to the top of the fourth. Here's Ralph Kiner. Kiner up there, and he takes the ball. 1-0 now the count to Ralph. And he lines that one up the middle for a leadoff single. 10-game hitting streak there for Kiner. And here comes Eddie Bachman, who takes a strike and buckled to the knees of that one. And then a ball, 1-1 the count. And there's a ball, 2-1 now. And that one's out wide. 3-1 is the count. And there's one low, and Blackwell's not able to find the plate on that one. Despite his 3 strikeouts, now has the 1 walk, and that means that Fitzgerald is in here with a chance to do something. Count on Fitzgerald is 0-2 now, hitting .333 this season. 1-2 as he takes one that's just wide. There's a ground ball over to Stallcup, over to Bloodworth for 1, back on to Kluszewski for the second one. Kiner moves up to third. 2 outs here, top of the fourth inning. Runner on third is Monty Pascal up there, who hits one straight over to Merriman in center field. He makes the easy out. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Danny Litweiler now takes a ball to lead this one off, and there's a ground ball over to Castiglione. The shortstop throws to first for the out, 1 away. Ted Kluszewski now fouls that one off his foot. 0-1 the count on him. There's one low and away, 1-1. And a strike to him, 1-2 now the count on Ted, and that's inside, 2-2. And he chases one over to left field. Kiner has it for the out, 2 away. Here comes Grady Hatton, who takes the ball, pops one up just out of reach of Bachman. 1-1 now the count. Now it's 1-2 as that one was fouled back. And he takes a ball, 2-2 now the count on Grady Hatton, still 2-2, hitting .292. And boy, that one just barely misses by Tiny Bonham, and it's a full count now on Hatton. It's a little ground ball over to Castiglione, and the hole throws over to first for the out. We go to the top of the fifth. No score. As they say there, the ice still unbroken, and it is. There's a ground ball over to Hatton, throws over to first for the out, 1 away, and here comes Wally Westlake. Westlake takes a strike, and there's a sinker that's wide. 1-1 now the count. That's high for ball 2. 2-1 the count. There's one in tight. 3-1 the count. A swing and a miss, and full count now, and there's a foul ball. And boy, that is high and far down the right field line and goes just foul. Westlake just about to break this one open here, top of the fifth inning, but that one's foul. He ends up with a base hit for his trouble, though, as he hits that one past Bloodworth, the second baseman, and there's a runner on first base now with only 1 out here for the Pirates. Johnny Hopp is up here. Johnny Hopp hitting near the bottom of the order, not hitting so well so far this year. 1-1 is the delivery on him, and he hits one, and that lands just beyond Litweiler's reach over in right field. Hopp is going to get a double out of this one, and here comes Tiny Bonham with runners on second and third. Tiny Bonham hasn't been able to hit the broadside of a barn. And there's a ball, and I should have the infield in. My apologies. There's a little pitch rolled over to Kluszewski, the first baseman, and we're going to throw home. Let's see if we can get him. Westlake goes down, and he's out, thrown out of the plate. That means there's 2 outs, and that's a pretty key play here early on in this game. I say it's early. It's not really that early. We're already in the top of the fifth inning. Still a 0-0 ball game, though, and it feels like we just started. Tiny Bonham probably should have been bunting there. I'm not entirely sure what the computer was thinking. But then again, it's a computer. It's probably not thinking much. I don't know exactly how this algorithm works. This one is not necessarily an egregious mistake, but I still kind of wonder why you don't bunt that situation. Here comes Castiglione with 2 outs now. 1-0 count to him, and it's 1-1. And there's one fouled away. 1-2 now the count. And that swung on a miss for strike 3, and Blackwell gets his 4th strikeout. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and that was loud, but not loud enough. Here's Virgil Stallcup now with a 1-1 count on him. It's off the plate. It's 2-1 now. Here's one line down to left field, but just foul. 2-2 now the count. And there's a ball on him, full count now. And there's a tapper over to Bachman at third base. Throws over to first base for the out, for 1 away here, bottom of the 5th inning. Here's Wirostek, and he hits a little ground ball to Bachman, throws to first for the second out. Here's Promesa, and he hits one over to left field to Kiner, and that was really quick. We go to the top of the 6th, and here's Kiner to lead it off. And you don't like seeing those where we had about 3 pitches to swing at in the whole inning. And Kiner gets a base hit. He's 2 for 3 today, and that brings up Eddie Bachman. I mean, we were just swinging at the first pitch all the way. Bachman tries to bunt once and then tries again. It's 0-2 is the count on him. Computer can't see that he's hitting well, and he ends up striking out. 5th strikeout of the game for Ewell Blackwell. Here's Fitzgerald, who takes a ball. And there's a ground ball up the middle, and it's off the glove of Stallcup for an infield base hit, and that brings up Pascal. Runners on first and second, top of the 6th inning, still no score. Ball 1 to Monty. And there's a strike to him, 1-1 the count. There's a ground ball over to Bloodworth at second base, who has no play on it because it bobbles off of his glove. You can see me, if you can see in the camera, wringing up my hand saying, what is it that we can do for this Reds team to get them to win a game? Part of the reason why the Pirates have been playing so well this season is because they've been playing Cincinnati, right? And the Cincinnati team is not very good. And the reason why they're not good is because they can't make simple fielding plays like that in the field, right? And the Pirates are about to blow this one open. Here's Judnich with only one out, but the base is loaded, and there's a strike to him. That one's up high and inside, high and tight. 1-1 the count now. Now it's 2-1 as he takes that one high. 3-1, and will Blackwell walk him in? He does. Walks in the run, and that's just absolutely ridiculous by Blackwell. You've got to throw the ball over the plate. And Judnich ends up walking in with and here comes the first run of the ball game with the bases loaded. And man, this game sometimes just really gets to you. At least when I'm playing with APBA, it will have some mechanism to stop that from being a walk all the time. Who knows about Diamond Mind if there's a mechanism or not. Blackwell throws a ball to the next hitter, Westlake, and 2 balls, 2-0 the count. And he catches the upper edge barely for a strike, 2-1. Blackwell must be getting tired. And there is one that lands right in front of Rurostek in left field for a base hit, scores 1. And there's a throw home, and we get the second runner. But there's 2 outs now here, top of the 6th inning, and it's a 2-0 game. Here comes Johnny Hobb, and there's a sinker inside that misses for a ball. 1-0 the count. That one's fouled back. 1-1, and there's a ground ball over to Bloodworth at second. Flips over to Stalkup for the out. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Lloyd Merriman comes up there now, and he takes a ball. And there's a fair ball into the right field corner, and that's a double for Merriman. And that does something here for the Reds. That brings up Blackwell. We're going to swing away with him. Let's see what happens. Hit 211 in real life, which isn't too bad. He takes a ball here and another ball, 2-0 the count. Of course, I say he hit 211. He had 19 at-bats. 2-1 now the count on Blackwell, and that one's high. 3-1 now the count. We'll take this pitch, and that's off the outside edge for a strike. Full count on him now. And he swings and misses at ball 4 and strikes out, and that's strikeout number 4 for Bonham. 1 away, and here's Bloodworth. And he fouls one back. 0-1 the count, and that one's fouled off the catcher. 0-2. And he swung and missed, and that it was a check swing called for strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Tiny Bonham. Here's Littweiler, and there's a strike to him to start it off. Bonham pitching well, and he fouls another one off, 0-2. And he lays off that one inside, 1-2. And 2-2, as that was a check swing that went in Cincinnati's favor. Still 2-2. One foul back, still 2-2 now, and that one's high, full count. And there's strike 3 with the forkball, and that's strikeout number 6 for Bonham, and he's having a great game. And he comes up to bat here in the top of the 7th inning, and he hits one over to Bloodworth, and that ends up being an error. That's a really bad play. Error number 3 here in this game for the Reds. That's the other reason why we're having a hard time. That's just not good. That's I don't know if I would really call this an awful play. I'm putting this right now into my awful plays directory. I guess that play wasn't so bad, but it's just frustrating in this game situation. I mean, the game's still within reach, and you let the pitcher get on base. 1-1 now the count here on Castiglione. He hits a little squibber over to shortstop. Stalkup goes to first with it. Bonham moves up to second. Here comes Kiner. Oh, man. That one's inside. 1-0 the count on Ralph. There's a strike to him. 1-1. And there's a ground ball off the glove of Hatton, and that's a single. Kiner has his 3rd hit of the game. Runners on 1st and 3rd now here for Bachman. Bachman, is he going to do something here to break this one open? There's a ball to him, 1-0. Another ball, and it's 2-0. There's a little blooper, and Merriman just able to get there in time, the center fielder, and that's too shallow to score Bonham. That brings up Ed Fitzgerald, the backup catcher, who's 1 for 3 today, and he gets a base hit, first hit swinging, sends Kiner to third base, scores the run. Still 1st and 3rd now. Here's Monty Pascal, top of the 7th inning, 3-0 now Pirates, and they're dominating this one just like the last one. And there's a little ball popped up to Bloodworth at second base for the out. And yet time is running out for Cincinnati as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. They're down 3-0. Here's Kluszewski, and he takes 2 quick strikes. There's a liner to right field for a base hit, and then he ends up with a double on that one as that one booted and scooted away from Wally Westlake. And that's also kind of a rare play. I don't even know if you see that in real life these days. I mean, if you guys probably watch more modern baseball than I do. Do you see batters who are alert like that and who look and see if the fielder's going to bobble it and run to second base? Back in the old days and so on and so forth. Here's Grady Hatton, takes 2 quick balls, 2-0 the count now on Hatton. and that one's popped out of play. 2-1. Ground ball to the right side. Hop does it himself. Rather, he flips over to Bonham for the out. Kluszewski goes to third base, and here's Stallcup. Kluszewski's run doesn't matter that much at this point, of course. Stallcup fouls one off, 1-1 the count. There's a chopper over to second base. We will let Kluszewski score, and Pascal throws to first base, of course. The Reds are on the board. It's 3-1. Wirostek up there now takes a strike and a ball. 1-1 the count on him. And he was challenged with that fastball. He fouled it off, and there's one low. 2-2 the count. And there's a flare that's just over the head of Hop, and he goes for 2, and Westlake's throw is not in time. And there's a runner on second base here for the Reds, and let's see what happens here with Johnny Promesa, who has a 1-1 count on him. Now it's 1-2. And Promesa ends up swinging and missing at that one, and that's strikeout number 7 for Bonham in this game. Go to the top of the 8th inning. Here's Wally Judnich. And Judnich takes a ball, 1-0 now the count. And there's one hit sharply to third base, and that's a base hit under the glove of Hatton. They're going to say that was a base hit and not an error, and it may very well be that it's a base hit instead of an error, but that looks like that was an error that was caused by sort of a poor play there by Hatton. And I'm not too surprised so far, having played with these Reds for quite a few games here in a row on camera. This is not a great Cincinnati team. Here's Wally Westlake. Westlake takes the ball, 1-0 the count. And there's a good sinker in there for a strike. It's 1-1, and 2-1 as that one missed. There's a fly ball over to Wirostek in left field for the first out. Here's Johnny Hop. Hop takes a ball low, 1-0. Here's a ground ball over to Hatton. He throws to first for the out, and Junior goes to second. And there's a ground ball here by Bonham over to shortstop. Stallcup throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and here is Lloyd Merriman for the Reds, down 3-1. And Merriman hits a big home run over the right field fence, and this is the ball game again. It's now 3-2. Maybe that run that they gave up there with Kluszewski on third base will end up being important after all. Merriman gets the home run with nobody on here, bottom of the 8th inning. He's telling me I shouldn't be hitting 8th. Of course, you have to hit a little bit better than he is to move up in the order. And the question now is, do we leave Blackwell in or take him out? I think we take him out. We're going to take out Blackwell. I've already made my decision, and we're going to put in, I think Bobby Adams will be our pinch hitter. So Bobby Adams is the pinch hitter here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and he's greeted by a tiny Bonham strike and another one. He's down 0-2 in the hole, and just barely checks his swing on that one. 1-2 the count. Fouls one off, still 1-2. Swung on and missed. That's strikeout number 8 for Bonham. Here comes Jimmy Bloodworth. And that one just missed. 1-0 the count now on Bloodworth, and there's a fastball off the plate. It's 2-0 now. And there's a strike to him, 2-1 the count. And there's one hit over to Kiner in left field for the second out. And here comes Danny Litweiler. And there's one up and in, and Bonham's overthrowing, and that one's low and inside. 2-0 the count now on Litweiler. There's a strike in there, fastball, 2-1. Forkball misses, 3-1. There's one foul back, full count now on him. And Bonham loses him, and there's a walk. Bonham only had 24 strikeouts in the real year, but he also only pitched 89 innings. 25 innings so far is 13 in this replay. So something's a little bit off. If Kluszewski takes a strike and then gets a base hit and sends Litweiler over to third base, that will bring up Grady Hatton now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And I'm paying too much attention to the strikeout total there for Tiny Bonham. I'm not paying attention to what's actually happening in this game. This is somewhat exciting. So Kluszewski gets the base hit, and this is an opportunity for Cincinnati to perhaps make amends and to atone for that awful first game that they had 2 days ago, as you saw. And there's one inside to Hatton and for a strike, and that's further inside. 1-1 now the count. And there's a fly ball over to Westlake in right field. That does it, and we need a relief pitcher. So, I mean, things did happen, I'll tell you that. Let's take a look here and see. Now, this is a different Dixie Howell. Boy, you have a bunch of guys with the same name. How did they keep him straight? All right, we're going to use Buddy Lively. That sounds like a lively name. Buddy Lively will be the relief pitcher here for the Reds, pitching against the Pirates here in the top of the 9th. There's a strike in there to Pete Castiglione. Another strike. It's an 0-2 count to him. There's one foul back. 0-2 still the count. That's landing to the left side, but just foul. 0-2 still. Castiglione gets a piece of one, but that's foul. And then gets a clean base hit, a little flare to right field, and that brings up Ralph Kiner, who can blow this game open. And there's a strike to Kiner, 0-1 the count. Runner on first base, top of the 9th, 3-2 ball game. There's a ball to him, 1-1 the count. And 2-1 is that backdoor missed. That's lined to the gap in left field. And man, Ralph Kiner's 4 for 5 today. I mean, he's just hitting out of this world. He's hitting the lights out so far this season. His average is up to 400. He's got an 860 slugging percentage with 7 home runs. Today, all he's done is get singles. Every time you turn around, he's hitting another single. And here's Eddie Bachman. And there's a strike. I should have the infield in, I know. And there's a 1-1 count now. Now we'll bring in the infield in on the corners. There's a ball to Bachman, 2-1 now the count. And he misses. Lively does, 3-1 now. There's a foul at the plate, and it's a full count. And there's ball 4, of course. Of course. And that means that Fitzgerald is up there, and we're going to play the infield in. Check swing by Fitzgerald, and that's a strike. 0-1 the delivery, and 0-2 now as that one just was across the plate and over the knees. 1-2 now. There's a foul ball. Full 1-2 still. And there's a ball, and Promesa is able to find that one to stop Castiglione from scoring. 2-2 the count now, and that one's in the dirt, and now it's a full count. Don't walk him, buddy. And Fitzgerald fouls one off, and Buddy walks him, and that's what I told you not to do. So we're going to get rid of this pitcher here before he gives me a heart attack. Walker Kress is going to be, because I just found him. Full 4-2, and the bases are loaded, and I forgot to pull the infield in. There's a ball to Pascal. In a strike, 1-1 the count now. And there's another ball to him, 2-1. And that's raked down the left field line for a hit. That will score 2, and we have runners on first and third. And I forget about the infield coming in. Here's Wally Judnich now, 6-2 Pirates. There's a drive to deep center field. Merriman goes back and grabs. They can't get Fitzgerald out of the plate, though. It's 7-2. Wally Westlake now takes the ball. Has high and inside, 2 balls and no strikes. And there's a strike to him, 2-1 now the count. And he's hit by the pitch. And what's going on here on the mound? I mean, we're possessed. Runners on first and second, and this is self-destructive. And there's a ball to Hop, and that one's inside, and that's a wild pitch. Pass ball is what they're going to call that, but one or the two. You can't see it anyway. There's ball 3 to Johnny Hop, and that's in the zone. 3-1 now the pitch, and it's 3-2. And that's just outside, and Kress doesn't get the call, and that's going to be it for Kress. I think we've seen enough of Kress. We're going to go with Ken Burkhardt now. I'm changing these guys faster than we used to change CDs back when I was a kid, when I was in high school. You know, you listen to 5 seconds of the track, and you're like, I'm bored with this. I'm going to go to the next track. That's what we used to do. Ball 1 into Ken Burkhardt. And there is a ground ball over to Bloodworth. He makes a very good play. Throws over to first base for the out, but of course another run scores. It's 8-2 now Pirates, and here's Castiglione. There's a ball to him, 1-0 the count, and that's fouled back 1-1. And there's a line drive between third and short, and that's going to score at least 1. We're going to throw home, try to get Johnny Hop, and Hop is in there safely. So 7 runs scoring the inning. It's 10-2 Pirates. Here comes Ralph Kiner. He's going to hit a home run, huh? Ball 1 to Kiner. Kiner 4 for 5 today. Ball 2, 2-0 to count on him. There's a curveball in there, 2-1, and that one goes just wide. 3-1 the pitch, and Burkhardt misses, and that's ball 4. Here comes Eddie Bachman, who's hitter number 12 of this inning. Fouls one back, 1-1 the count. That's hit over to left fielder to the left field where Wirrostick grabs it, and that does it. 7 runs there for the Pirates in that inning. It's 10-2. Here's Virgil Stallcup, and he hits one over to left field, and Kiner can't get it. That's all we're going to say about this error here by Ralph Kiner in left field, who, as it says here, he turned a routine fly ball into a one-man circus. That's what you get for playing Ralph Kiner, right? I mean, he's almost like the human cheat code here in 1949. This guy is just unfair to pitch against, but he has to play the field, fortunately. No designated hitter in the National League in 1949, so take that, huh? And here comes Wirrostick with a 1-1 count. Stallcup on at first base, and there's a strike to him, 1-2, and there's a forkball, 2-2 now. And that was almost a wild pitch. Fitzgerald saves it, full count, and he strikes out Wirrostick. Strikeout number 9 for Bonham, who's pitching amazingly. There's ball 1 here to Johnny Promesa, and there's a strike to him, 1-1 the count. And there's another strike. It's 1-2. And that's hit over to Bachman at third base. He throws over to Pascal at second for 1. On to Johnny Hop at first base for the double play. Oh boy, I know that one was really tight and exciting at the end there, but the Pirates did manage to squeeze out their 10-2 victory. I hope you enjoyed this game, and hope you don't mind my sarcasm too much. Yeah, I'm going to have to go sit down after this one. It's always hard to manage against a team that's really good. I'll see you tomorrow with another game. Bye-bye.